All right. So let's talk about the greatest gaming series in the history of modern gaming, God of War. Plain and simple. I won't take an argument from anyone. Xbox fanboys in the chat can cry, but Halo good. We all know Bungie and 363 fell off. You know who didn't fall off? Sony Santa Monica Studios. They had it going. I have been a huge fan of the God of War series ever since it came out. In fact, I played my first God of War game when I was like 11. And for anyone that knows what happens in the first 20 so minutes of the first God of War game, yeah, I was 11. I was not ready for that, but oh well. Jumping forward in time, I heard that they had remade the series, rebranded, I guess, and I was always a little hesitant because I didn't want my childhood memories of playing as Kratos and, smashing people's heads in and just unleashing all sorts of hell in the Greek pantheon. I didn't want that to go away. I wanted to retain that childlike wonder I had towards it. And I just kept putting this off further and further and further. And I regret doing that now. I started the game, even in the first, 4 hours, the first recording that I had of this, I wasn't hooked. It took me a little bit to really want to find myself there, and it wasn't even that the game wasn't interesting, because it was. It wasn't that the gameplay or the fighting didn't feel like it used to, because it kind of did. My inner self was so hesitant to accept that this game was a good game that I kind of held myself back in the first part. Now, once you get tasked with going to Helheim, and you get handed back, spoiler alert, your blades. I feel like this isn't a spoiler, this game's been out for a while now. You get handed back your blades, and right then and there for me, I think that's when the switch turned, and it was no longer I'm playing the new God of War. It was we're playing God of War. There was no time definition between here or there for me to complain about it being different. I actually kind of like that it was different. I like that Kratos was not as bitchy. He's definitely more controlled. He's trying to be a good example for Atreus. And Mimir will not shut the fuck up. So with all those things working together, it actually works pretty cohesively. And I kind of like it. As far as the overall synopsis goes, the story was strong. Had some touching moments in there. Was very God of War 3. And God of War, I guess you could say the handheld like Chains of Olympus type shit. There are moments in there where you'd feel, and you'd be like, damn, that's depressing as shit. But then there's other moments in there where they're like, oh hey, we're going to need you to go unlock this dragon. Is it safe? I don't know. The Sony Monica Studios definitely clowned about a little bit, and I like that they had that good balance between clowning it and, being serious. I also like that you get to see character progression, not just from Kratos, but also from Atreus. He went from being, I don't want to be with you because I don't know you, to, okay, well, maybe this is kind of cool. You're still a dickhead. To, hey, we're gods. To being an extreme dickhead. And then finally kind of finding his balance. And I think once he found his balance and was more team-oriented, I guess you'd say, is when Atreus really hit his stride for me. Overall, like, supporting cast, Sindri, Brock, Faye, Freya, they all feel like they belong there. It wasn't ever a forced introduction. Like, if we want to think back to forced introductions, God of War 2, where they put Icarus in the game, didn't feel like it belonged. When they put the satyrs in God of War 1 on Pandora's Temple, didn't feel right. When they introduced Hermes into God of War 3, I mean, yeah, it kind of felt right, but the fact that you had to see him so many times felt forced. So I'm glad that they got natural character introduction pretty well aligned, and they didn't stray too far or far at all from what I can notice from Norse mythology. It was actually pretty bitchin'. I'm super duper looking forward to Ragnarok coming to PC. I'm sure tons of other people have already played it and had a great time with it. I want my turn on the merry-go-round next. So, Sony, please, just release it already. Yeah, I don't really got much else to say. I enjoyed the shit out of this game. Honest 10 for 10. Good combat, heartfelt moments, and we can't forget boy. It's always about boy. The greatest meme to be spawned from this game is still true to this very day. And I'm even glad that the word boy, after doing my research, had some significance. Like, they didn't have a name for Atreus. And then late in development, they're like, oh yeah, we got his name now. Oh, cool, is it? Atreus. What do we do with all the boy dialogue? Leave it. After this, there'll be an Assassin's Creed stuff's getting uploaded. Hopefully, I can get those done soon, because after this, there is much more for me to record. I will see you guys on the next video. Please do like, subscribe, and stick around, because there's always more shit.